Good evening. Welcome to Current Affairs, July 17th, 2015. So the big news is related to the ordinance that is issued by the President of India. So this is the ordinance that is related to the land acquisition bill. In the year 1894, when British government was present in India, they passed this act, Land Acquisition Act. And the same act continued in India up to the year 2013. Later, some changes were made in the act, and the UPA government tried to provide certain benefits to the farmers. Otherwise, with some easy procedures, the government used to take away their land from the people. And later, next year, that is 2014, the government has been changed and the new government has come to the picture. The present India government started looking at the changes that were made in the land acquisition bill. Of course, it has been renamed as Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Bill. But the new government has seen certain flaws in that. It is becoming very difficult to acquire the land. And they made certain changes, and for that reason, they have issued an ordinance. What do you mean by an ordinance? Ordinance is a temporary act that is issued by the President of India under Article 123 of the Indian Constitution. That ordinance will be issued only when the Parliament is not in the session. But the moment the Parliament starts, within a period of 6 weeks, the ordinance has to be passed by both the houses of the Parliament. But if you look at the present government, it has the majority only in the Lok Sabha, but whereas in the Rajya Sabha, there is no majority. That's the reason why it is becoming very difficult for the present government to pass this land acquisition amendment bill. It is because there is a very serious opposition from various political parties. The opposition parties are straight away saying that in this particular format, we are not going to allow the bill to be passed. And of course, the Congress Vice President, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he is going to various states and he is giving assurance to the farmers, saying that we don't allow the government to take even 1 inch of land from you. So these are the statements that are given by Rahul Gandhi even yesterday in Rajasthan. So not just Congress party, but various political parties are against this. So in the controversy, when the controversy is going on, the president issued the ordinance was lapsed. Again, the ordinance has been issued. Later, the Farmers Association has challenged the same in the Supreme Court, saying that the government is misusing the Article 123. Article 123 is permitting the President of India to issue the ordinance. But because of any reason, if the ordinance is not turning into an act, can you re-promulgate it? Constitution is silent on this. But the government has re-promulgated. That's the reason why Farmers Association has moved the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court yesterday, it sought the answer from the government within 4 weeks. How can you re-promulgate the ordinance? First time it was not accepted means it was not accepted by the Parliament, meaning the support is not there. How can you re-promulgate the same thing again? That's the reason why for the first time the Supreme Court has questioned the ordinance at the central level. Of course, the same power is also there for the governor of a state. So many times it has been questioned by the Supreme Court, but for the first time, the central government on ordinance has been questioned by the Supreme Court. So we have to wait and watch. That's the reason why, though the Constitution has provided certain provisions, those provisions must be used, it should not be misused. And it has seen by the Supreme Court in a different manner. We have to wait for 4 weeks for the response to be given by the government. Later, what the court will decide, we have to wait and watch. But even today also, it is very difficult for the government to see that the ordinance will be through the parliament, because majority of the opposition parties are against. It's really becoming very difficult for the present day government to transform ordinance into an act. So for the examination point of view, there may be a question: in which of the following ordinances the Supreme Court has issued notice to the central government that is related to the land acquisition? Or they may ask you the examination, who issues the ordinances? Answer is the president. Or they may ask you when the president will issue the ordinances. Ordinances will be promulgated by the president only when the parliament is not in the session. That is called recess. Only when parliament is not in the session, then only the president can promulgate the ordinance. See here, the president of India is a de jure head. He is a nominal head. That's the reason why, though we are saying it is promulgated by the president of India, in reality, the decisions are taken by the prime ministers. That's the reason why the government is answerable to the court, not the president of India. Am I clear? Or in the examination, they may ask you, under which article the president promulgates ordinances? Answer is the article 123. And remember, 1, 2, and 3. 123. So this is with relation to the ordinance, and I have some more news with me. Let me open the document and I have a look at this. So I am going to talk to you regarding National Book Trust, that is NBT. It has got a new director now. Look at this. NBT stands for National Book Trust. You must have heard this name so many times. And the basic objective is to produce and encourage quality literature in English, Hindi, and other Indian languages, and make them available at moderate prices. At the very, very cheap prices, it is expected to be available for the people. That is the basic function of the NBT. It organized so many what's called workshops, rather selling of the books, in fact, at so many places throughout the world. And it is there in the news. It is because of the present director is Rita Chaudhary. And of course, he has association with the BJP party. The government has issued the notification, so many applications have come, and there was filtration or refiltration, and finally a person by name Rita Chaudhary, who has association with BJP, has been picked up as a director, and she has been appointed as the director. She has been appointed as the director for National Book Trust. So that is related to NBT. So for the examination point of view, there may be a question in the examination that who is the director of National Book Trust? Answer is Rita Chaudhary. Next one. And some other news I have with me that is related to the verdict of the Supreme Court on National Judicial Appointments Commission. Regarding NJAC, I spoke to you so many times on the same platform. NJAC is basically meant for replacing the existing collegium system. The government has seen so many loopholes in the collegium system. That's the reason why Constitution has been amended, collegium system has been scrapped, and finally the Parliament has passed the Amendment Act, accepted by the states, and finally it became an act and the notification also released. But the validity of NJAC has been questioned in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court accepted the petition, and there were arguments and the counter arguments for NJAC. Government, through Attorney General, It was arguing that there were so many loopholes in the collegium system. That's the reason why there is a necessity for NJSU. But the arguments on the other side is that the NJSC is also not foolproof. And yesterday, let me tell you, day before yesterday, it happened a very serious thing. Generally in India, the system is that the senior most judge of the Supreme Court is appointed as the Chief Justice of India. Nowhere it is mentioned in the Constitution, it's a tradition. That's how you will give respect to the senior judges. And there were incidents in India where the person at the third senior most or fourth senior most has been appointed as the Chief Justice of India. Obviously, that is an insult to other judges, other senior judges, and there were incidents that they have submitted the resignation. So, meaning the confidence on the judiciary will come down, and the people who are working with lots of integrity in the form of judges, they will be demoralized. That's the reason why in the year 1992, 1993, Supreme Court Collegium has been established, and since then the Collegium will recommend that who should be appointed as the judges for both the Supreme Court and High Courts. So day before yesterday, the argument between the court and the Attorney General is that what is the guarantee that a senior most judge will be appointed as the Chief Justice of India? And the government has answered through Attorney General saying that if the senior most judge did not deliver good judgments, then we need to consider other judges. So that is going to establish a serious warning to the judiciary system. And in future, there may be a possibility not the senior most judge, but his junior may be appointed as the Chief Justice of India. So it is going to create a bad precedence in the judiciary. And anyway, the court decided to conclude the arguments and it is going to pronounce the verdict later. If the Supreme Court upholds National Judicial Appointments Commission, it is going to continue. Otherwise, what happens is that NJAC will be scrapped by the judiciary and the same old Supreme Court collegium system will continue. That's the basic idea. Am I clear? So just remember these points and I'll stop at this stage, and I thank you so much for being with me this evening. See you tomorrow with some more news. Thank you.